Kira here. How you doing? Today I'm going to talk about playing a rim shot on the snare. When I started drumming, I didn't do rim shots ever. I kind of turned my nose up at it. I assumed that only like punk drummers hit a rim shot on the snare. So I was kind of against it at first. And then I went to LA to study for a couple of months. And I remember one evening I was playing a few songs for this party. And this lovely guy came over to me at the end and said, "You're a good drummer, but I couldn't really hear you. You need to rim shot on the snare." And just that one comment changed it for me. I'm going to show you how I do it. You don't have to play a rim shot on the snare all the time. There's a time and a place. So if you're playing in a really tiny room and it's really quiet, probably not best to do it. Or control the level. So it's really important, once you know how to do this, try and read the room, look at the size of the room, look at if you're being mic'd up, look at all of these things. You don't want to be that drummer who whacks the hell out of the snare and everyone is left really uncomfortable because it's just too loud. So the first thing you'll need to consider when you want to hit a rim shot is your height compared to the snare. If you're too high up, say like this, it might be really hard for you to hit the rim at the same time. Likewise, if you're too low, you may just hit the rim. You've got to put some time in to figure out what the best height is for you. So about waist works for me. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my stick down and I'm going to hit the head and the rim, hopefully, at the same time. Now notice when I'm hitting the snare, I'm not leaving my stick there. I feel like the shot can kind of go into your arm and it's not going to help you. You'll notice that my stick is flat. So then I'm hitting the rim, I'm hitting the drum, hopefully at the same time. Really good if you can do a flam like that too. So pay attention to your height, the angle of which you're hitting the snare drum. You're not going to hit a rim shot if you're approaching it like this. And you're not going to hit a rim shot if you're approaching it like this. It needs to be flat like that so you can catch both. The main thing with this is don't get too frustrated if you keep missing the rim shot. It took me ages. Even now sometimes I might miss it. So you just need to be really consistent with your practice and make sure that you're focused in on what sound you're after. It might take you a few tries, it might take you a few goes to figure out how high you want to sit, what angle you want the snare drum at, and all of these different things. The other thing to note is you might want to check out what sticks you're using. This has nothing to do with creating a rim shot, but it has to do with if they're going to get destroyed. So I use these Fatbacks by Veta, and they're really, really good. I've been using them for ages and there's only a tiny bit of wear and tear there. But if you use really soft wood, so if you're not using hickory and if you're using maple, then if you keep doing rim shots, they might well break really quickly. So just be aware of it. Keep going. And as I said, it's not the be all end all. It's just a useful thing to be able to do if you're in a big venue or if you're playing outside, so that you can be heard. Hope it helps.